this is Liz. Welcome to my little urban homestead and welcome to Fabric Friday. I've got me smaller one, my medium sized cutting mat out to show you that you can do this without having a big one. I've got a piece of fabric here, spare fabric, 25 inches roughly by about roughly 15 inches. There's a lot of stretch diagonally on it, and that's what you want for bias binding, stretch so it will go round things. Now if you haven't got a very big cutting mat, what you do is fold one of the corners over and put a crease in it. And because you now know that that's on a 45-degree angle, because I've got my sandwich edge at the top, we know it's a 45-degree, so I'm just going to take that off, that bit there. Oh. And that now is a good 45 degrees. Bias binding is, I prefer to do it 2 inches wide, so that's what I'm doing. Now this is the 2 ruler method. I found my 2 inches on there. I put my long ruler here, put them up against one another, then I can move that one out of the way. And that's my first 2 strips of bias binding, and I will carry on and use the rest of this fabric. That is the bias binding strips that I've cut out of that one piece. This is a bit of the fabric left over from when I made scrubs. Now these little edgy bits on the corner, no, but these smaller bits, I still cut them and save them, because the last thing you want to do is use it on a project and you've only got about 1 inch or 2 to go and you've got no more bias binding. So I sew it in with it. But because you fold it on the diagonal, you get 2 strips. Now these on the top, put it there. This one is from the top, put it there, and if you slide these bottom ones, you see they will meet up. So all you've got to do is take it to your sewing machine and sew along that line, and then you will have your own ready-made bias binding. So that's what I'll do now with all these. I'll put them together. Let me show you that again though. There's your strip, the bit that was on top, move, the bottom one no longer matches up with that one, it'll match up with one of these, because these, see, so you just go through it and find out which bits match which bits and sew them together. That's the easiest way of doing it. There's one strip, find another one that's got the same type of end to it, and that's one of the little bits, and sew them together there. And that's what I'll do now, sew them all together and get a big long strip of it. I've used that blue bias binding up that I cut out and made, so I'm making some more. And I wanted to show you that it can be done on a smaller size cutting mat. This mat is about 23 inches by 17 inches. I've folded my fabric the same as I did earlier, so I've got a nice 45-degree edge to it. Because it's longer than this cutting mat, you can just fold it along there and you will still get it out straight. So this looks weird, but it's what I figured out before I got my larger mat. Line up the edges that you folded and go for it same as we did before, which is just trim off there to get you 45 degrees. Two inches. And that's that top strip done. Now the edges aren't completely right, but I'll do that when I'm sewing them all together. So you can get long strips. These strips are, I should say, about 33 inches long, cut on a 23-inch mat. So I now have got more to use because I'm making slippers. I haven't sewn all the pieces together. This is just to show you part of it. I'll do them in a bit. If you open your seams and press the seam open. I've already cut off the little dog ears. Some of my seams aren't brilliant, but they will do because these sides will be on the inside of the bias binding. I've shown you this bias making tool. They're very cheap. There's normally 4 in a set, different sizes, and because you cut on the bias, you've got a point, and you just put the point in. I get my seam ripper, put it down as the middle of it. Some people use a pen, I use my seam ripper, and it comes out at the bottom there. I forgot to tell you, you need it wrong side up for this. And that's how it comes out. So you then just get your iron, place it on, and keep moving. And it pre-folds it for you, which is brilliant. Used to take me ages folding it in half, and then the two edges to the middle. You can do it with a long needle, but I haven't. And you just carry on to the end of your strip. Depending on how fine, slippery and thin your fabric is, it might help you to starch it first. I haven't. It shows you your seam does go through. Just give that a little bit of an extra press. Oops. Yes, there's bits of lint. I need a lint brush because there's bits of lint all over this. I'm trying it out. I put this, it's sort of like felt or wool, on my ironing surface to see what it's like, because I might stretch this across it because it might be better than what I've got on it at the moment. But you just need to take extra care, that's all, over when you're going over your seams. Thank you. Bye.